In this training, we'll learn how to properly test an agent in the Mozenda Agent Builder. As a user, testing my agent is the most important step in building an agent, because this is where I can resolve any problems that might occur before I run a job on the harvesters and use up my page credits. I don't need to wait until my agent is complete to test. In fact, it's recommended that I test my agent at several different steps throughout the build process. As a general rule, I will test my agent after creating one of the following actions: a click item that leads to a new page, or an action that changes the current page, like a set user input; any type of list action, such as a capture or click list; a list pager, which clicks on the next button in a list to proceed to the next page of that list. These are the points where most websites have poorly written or complex page code, and so checking to make sure the agent works with these actions is important. I've started my agent on the home page of this website, and I want to view the product list. So I'll create a click action on the category link that will take me to the product list. I've just created a click item that leads to a new page, so I should stop and briefly test to confirm that my agent loads the new page correctly. To start a basic test, choose Test Agent in the upper left corner of the agent and click on Start. I can see my agent successfully click through the first link and load the product page. Now that I've confirmed that the first click item functions correctly, I want to create a capture list to extract this list of products. After creating my capture list, I'll confirm that it's capturing correctly by checking the Capture Text Preview window. The data looks good. Now I want to click on each product and extract data from the product page. Because I've already created a capture list on these items, I only need to click on the first item, and the agent will repeat that action for each item in this list. We're now on the product page, and I want to make sure that the agent navigates correctly to each product in the list. Now is a good time to briefly test my agent. When testing an agent that loads a new page for each item in a list, it's a good idea to have at least one capture action on the new page. This way, I can identify each time my agent successfully navigates to each product page by watching the testing results window. For this example, I'll capture the product's availability. As before, I'll choose Test Agent from the upper left and select Start. I can see the data populating in the testing results. Because the availability field is capturing correctly, I know that the agent is successfully navigating to the product page for each item in the list. Generally speaking, a good test size is about 50 items in a list, which I can track in the testing results window, or about 5 minutes, whichever comes first. Once I'm satisfied with the results, I can stop the test at any time by clicking on Stop. If I decide to modify my agent and test again, I'll click on Test Agent and choose Start. To start the test where I left off, I would choose Resume. In Test Settings, I can modify the way my agent behaves while testing to make the process more efficient. The first two options are Disable Image Downloads and Disable Browser Auto Zoom. In the previous test, you saw the agent load multiple pages, all of which zoomed out to fit their individual windows and loaded all images. Checking these two boxes will disable those functions and may help the testing process finish more quickly. I've tested the list, and I know that it successfully collects data and loads each product page. If I go back to the product list page, I notice that there's more than one page in the list, and I want my agent to proceed through every page. To do this, I need to create a page list action. First, I'll select Add List Pager from the Selected Action menu. I then choose the next page number in line. The dialog is asking if there is a Next Page button, and I don't see one, so I'll choose No. Our list pager will just use the page numbers to navigate. I notice that there is a More Page Numbers link here, so I'll choose Assign More Page Numbers link and click on the link. Now my agent will extract data from every page of this list. Testing a page list action is important because of the many variations that websites use to navigate through multiple pages. As my agent is currently set up, the test will go through every product on every page of this list. I've already tested the list itself. I only need to test the page list action. To do this, click on Test Agent and choose Test Settings. Test settings are different for each type of action. After selecting the Begin Item List action, new options appear under Action Test Settings. I'll choose the second option, which allows me to include only the first few items. I'll leave the number 1 and click Start. My agent will now scrape only the first item from each page while it tests the page list action, rather than testing the entire list on each page. This makes the testing process much quicker, while showing me that my agent is navigating and collecting correctly. My agent appears to be functioning correctly, so I'll save my changes and click Run Now to run it in the Mozenda Web Console. A browser window will open, and I can view my data as it's extracted by refreshing the collection here. Now I'll check my data for accuracy. If I find incorrect data or need to modify the agent further, I can pause the job. I can then open the agent to the page where the job paused by clicking Fix Agent to make my modifications. This concludes the training on best practices for testing your agent in the Builder.